Hi, this fast food restaurant management system developed earlier. Let me show you guys how it works. I'm going to click on reset and let's select any of these. And let's enter how many of those we intend to order. And we will go for ash brown. And 2 of those. Let's go for cola. Maybe orange juice, water as well, vanilla, and strawberry. So we have to select method of payments. If you select cash or MasterCard, there we go. But if it's cash, if you select cash, click on that. That means you must enter your cash in there. Let's say you are handling in £100, click on total, and there we go. You can see if you add this and this together, that should give you £100, and that's the change. So with that, guys, let's go into Visual Basic Development environment, and you see how to put one of these together. Hi, welcome to another Visual Basic tutorial of a fast food restaurant. I'm going to start by clicking on New Project. Right there, now that my dialog box is ready, I will now select Visual Basic. Make sure you select Windows Forms Application, and up here enter a name for your project. I'm just going to call it VB_fast food _restaurant. There. Maybe copy that. Alright, click on OK. Now that my form is ready, let's define the size of the form. Select Properties, and right here will give you your program or your form a name. So that will be 1368 by, let's go for 700. Click on OK. So the next thing is, let's come up here and just in the toolbox, let's grab a panel right here. So maybe change the property of that panel. Let's see. Okay, let's change the border style of that panel to fixed single, and we might as well add a label just to denote what our program is all about. So let's say something like that. Let's come in here, grab a label. I'll grab another panel there first and look for a label somewhere. We have a label here, and that very label, let's enter fast food restaurant in there that I copied earlier. Alright. Okay, that's the title, and maybe increase the font size. Now let's select bold and maybe go for 48. Right, let's leave that there for now. Yeah, something like that. Okay, the next thing we want to do is, since we've copied another panel, just grab another one here, and maybe one more panel. We have 1, 2. Okay, we have 3 panels. Let's change the style or the style of those panels. Let's see 3D, and let's experiment with 3D. Yeah, 3D is not too bad. That's good. Now, in here, in that very panel, let's enter some checkbox. 1 checkbox, 2, 3, maybe 4, I don't know. Let's copy it across. Add this checkbox here. We have another here, and we're going to need some text box as well. Let's grab some labels here. We need one here, another one here, maybe 1 label here, depending on how we want our application to look like. So now let's come in here for text box. Alright, now we have text box in place. Let's get some buttons in place as well. Go right up there and maybe place a button here. We can always copy those across. Have one here, another one here. Yeah. Okay, now one of these would be for output. Alright, there. Let's call that. Let's give that a name. So we just call that. Let's go for CHK and maybe hamburger. CHK hamburger for that. Let's get it right. Okay, that's the name of that, and maybe just copy the hamburger there and just bang it right inside the text right here. There we go. Right there. And maybe increase the font of all of these components. Let's increase just the font of that. And this one as well. I'll try that again. Just that. Properties. Font. Make that bold about 14. That's fine. And bring this down. This is just going to be a title for the fast food. We're going to need a couple of text box in there. The text box is just to enter how many of these items we want, and this would be for drinks. Undo that. Okay, maybe delete all of that. Copy this and bring it in. Since we've already enhanced that, yeah, that's fine. Okay. Now this will be for drinks, so we can always change this one to CHK. Let's go for T, and there, let's enter T right there, and maybe coffee here. Remember, this is supposed to be a fast food joint, so you can just pop in there, grab yourself maybe hamburger or sandwich and just move on. And here, let's go for maybe Coke. Come right down here, enter Coke right there. There. Maybe Coke or cola. Yeah, let's go for cola. Right. Okay, change the name to cola. Right. Now this one, let's go for bottled water. There are some people out there that still buy bottled water, so let's say BW. Yeah, that's fine. BW. Maybe okay, bottled water. Yeah. Okay, we just change the name. Come in here, the text box here, and just enter bottled water there. Oh, no, that's not what I want. Alright, that's fine. Put it there. Okay, now let's complete the fast food itself. Okay, let's just call this maybe CHK cheese sandwich. Yeah, why not? And we just enter, yeah, cheese sandwich. Okay, now just copy that instead of typing all day. Now come right down here where we have the text and just enter that in there. Okay, we have cheese sandwich there. And right here, maybe go for chicken sandwich. Paste and just change this to chicken. Then the name CHK chicken sandwich. now we have, let's go for the next one. Let's change this to maybe fish. Yeah, why not? The fish sandwich. Right there. And the name, just change that to fish. Okay, what other kind of fast food does a hardworking man need? Let's just move this around. Okay, we have all our standard fast food there. What else do we need? And what about fries? Sometimes they do need fries, so maybe we have some fries here. Let's delete that and copy this across. Let's copy all of this. Yeah. Fries, we might sometimes need fries. Okay, here let's enter some other extras in there. Maybe let's go for CHK. Let's go for vanilla drink. Let's make them vanilla clone. Right down here. Copy that and just come down here. If you notice, I'm actually using CheckBox for all, just to give you an option of selecting that. You can always use radio button, but you'll be restricted, so that's why I'm using CheckBox. So let's come here and just call this maybe vanilla shake. Alright, copy that, take it up there. HK shake. Okay, maybe I'll just speed up the design of the interface and get back to you guys. Okay, let me show you guys this interface. This is how it looks now. There's been a lot of improvements, so let me just run it so that you guys have a look at it. Right there, guys, this is how it all looks for now. Okay, so I don't know if I'm still going to change the interface, but what I'm going to do now is to start with the coding. So I'm going to take care of these two first, then we settle with the total later on. Okay, so let's start with exit. So I'm going to call that, let's declare a variable here, dim I exit as dialog result right there. The reason why I'm using that instead of just going for application.exit is so that it will prompt the end user to confirm if they want to exit. So I.exit equals message box dot show, because that is more reliable and more professional. So let's use that. Confirm if you want to exit. So let's come out here and just give it a title, comma. I'll just call that fast food there. Okay, the next thing is let's enter message box button there, right there, to give us yes or no. Okay, I'm going to select yes or no. Then the next one is let's add an icon. The icon in this case can be maybe message box icon, question, or information. So we can go for question because we want to confirm. Alright, now let's use an if statement to prompt the end user. If I exit equals dialog results dot yes, then application.exit. Application.exit. Right there, guys. That's all there is to it. So you now know how to write an if statement that prompt the end user to confirm if they would like to exit the system. So let's try it out. You see what I'm talking about. Click on exit. If you say no, you stay within the system, but if you say yes, there, that's what will happen. Now the next thing is the reset button. We can always use the traditional way of resetting, just let's say txt whatever dots may be clear. Okay, we can always use that, but that's just a lot of these that I have to write, and it's gonna look a little bit not too pretty. So what I intend to use is I'm gonna use for each, let's go for 4, using a for each txt, and let's set up an array. Okay, that's my array there. I will now enter txt. Let's go for this drink, comma, another txt, the next one, that's cheese sandwich, another txt, chicken salad, and another txt. We have chicken sandwich, another txt, chocolate mix check, and another txt, chocolate muffin. So what will happen is that we clear that. So let's say txt dot clear. So that is the method we use, and then there. So for the few ones that I've just done, let me show you what will happen. So if I run the system, let's run it, and you see what I'm talking about. I think I have, yeah, I have these, so I'm gonna enter some data in there. That is wrong, that's just supposed to be numbers, so we need to take care of that too. So if I click on this there, okay, and let's look for bottled water there. Okay, so that's another way you can just clear your system. So I'll use that. I think I like it. And txt, the next one in this case, that's coffee. Yeah, coffee, and comma txt, did I see cola, txt, fish sandwich. So I'll just speed that up. Okay, this is just to clear all of the text box. Okay, now what about the others, which is LBL? Okay, in the case of the LBL, so maybe we just do those ones individually because I only have a couple of those. The text equals clear, and the other one, I think I do have tags in there. LBL tags or subtotal clear, then LBL tags clear, LBL total clear. So that is the clear that we have in here for the text box and the labels. Now let's have a look at, okay, here in this case that is if selected, so we just want to deselect all of this. Alright, okay, now that we've taken care of the labels, let's take care of this checkbox. There seems to be a lot of those, so we might as well use for each loop as well. For each, I think I have it as chk, and let's put it inside control array. Then the first one is going to be, let's close it first, then alright, that's fine. chk dot check dot checked dot checked equals, let's make that false. Now let's enter chk bottled water, comma, and comma, we have sandwich chk. Let's go for chicken sandwich. Wow, another one chk. So let's just speed that up now. Okay guys, that is for the checkbox. Works exactly the same way as this. So if I run it, okay, and select any item on the any checkbox, I can always uncheck it when I click on the reset button. and let's say we enter some value in there. It's meant to accept only numbers, but we're going to work on that. If I click on this, there, you see that, guys. Okay, one other thing is I intend to enter zeros here just as default data. But before that, you see this very one declare for the text box. I'm going to copy all of that because I want all of these when I run the system, I want them all disabled. So let's double click on form load. Right in there, we just change this dot enable equals false. There, that is it. So which means when I run the system, that is it, all of the text box are disabled. Okay, they're all disabled right now. Alright, the only thing I will use to enable it will be this very checkbox. So let's double click on the very first checkbox, this one. Double click on that and enter txt fries dot enable equals true before we can enter data there. So if I run it now and click on this, we can enable that and enter how many fries we want in there. Okay, let's reset. Okay, when we reset as well, just clear it, or do we want it all enabled or disabled? That's another question, but let's take care of this first. You see all of the text box, I'm going to select them all and just enter a value in them. Repeat the same thing for this and here, so that it doesn't give us error. So let's come to the text right here and enter 0 there. I think maybe I should even align it or maybe center. Okay, center, why not? That's fine. And there's a couple more here. So all of this is taken care of. Let's run it and see. That's how the whole system looks right now. Alright, what we want to do is to make sure we cannot enter any alphabet characters in here. We only just want numbers in here. If I run it, you guys will understand what I'm talking about. Okay, as you can see, if I enable any of this kind of system, I can enter numbers and I can even enter alphabet character in there. See, that is wrong. And the other thing is, when I uncheck, I expect this to become disabled, so we need to take care of that as well. So the first thing I want to do now is to prevent the user from being able to enter alphabets onto any of these components here. So let's stop it right there. I'm going to select it all and use event. This event is known as key press. Then I'll come to the event right here. Let's click there and just come in here. Key press, I'll call it numbers only. Let's go to event key press right there. Numbers underscore only. That is the name of my key press event. So I press enter. And there we go, that is the event number on numbers only. The next thing I want to do now is to enter the following statement. You see that if ASCII in a bracket e dot key char less than and equals to 8, then I want the ASCII to only be able to accept whatever is between 48 and 57. 48 and 57 is 0, 1, 2, 3 up to 9 in the ASCII character. You can always try that out by holding on to the Alt key and just press the number pad. Okay, so it has to be between this and this. If it's true, alright, else it will not accept any other character. So if I try to run it now, let's run it and you guys will see what I'm talking about. If I enable, so I cannot enter anymore data in there apart from numbers. You see, I can only enter numbers, I cannot enter. We can verify that by using the visual keyboard. Let's come in here and just enter keyboard. Let me open it and you see what I'm talking about. There we go, that's the visual keyboard. I'm going to enable one of these and I'll try to enter right here. Try to enter that, nothing is happening. But numbers, you see that, guys, so that is good. So close that. Now that you get the whole idea of that, there. Alright, that is verified. But the other thing is I want to be able to uncheck this and this disabled. So let's come in here and have a good look at these codes. So let's come in here, double click on the fry. Let's start with the fry right there. Okay, so we use an if statement to get that sorted. So let's go by saying if crk fries dot, let's get rid of this, dot checked equals true, then I want this to happen, else I want all of this to become false, and whatever content is in there I will want that cleared as well. And if, and whatever content we have in txt fries dot clear. Alright, so if we come in here and run that, you guys will see what I'm talking about. So if I click on this and enter any data in there, then I decide to just close that. You see that all the content goes, but we want that to become 0. So let's come back in there and change that to txt fries dot text equals, let's enter the 0 back onto it. So come in here, enable. Okay, when we enable we should clear it as well. Enable is true and clear it as well, so that we can enter data in there. And txt fries dot focus, let's focus in there as well, then the cursor goes right in there. Run it there, guys. You see that if I click on that, there, look at the cursor, ready for us to enter data in there. Okay, get rid of that. You see that again? That's nice, isn't it? So we will repeat the same thing for the rest of that. So let me show you guys the code so that I can speed that up. Right here, from here down here. So that will be repeated for all of the checkbox. That will be repeated. Okay, guys? Save that. I've just speed up the checkbox codes and there they are. Okay, I'll show you guys the rest. That is for the onion ring, that is for the chicken salad, fish sandwich, and so on. It's just the same lines of code, really. Okay, and that is that. So what I need to do now, I will now run the programs. Now if I click on all of these and let's say I enter some data in there, what I want the system to be able to do is, supposing I select reset, okay, can you see some of these? As you can see, they are missing the zeros, and look, when you click on it again, all the zeros are gone. So the first thing I want to do is to come in here, double click on the reset, and let's add a 0 here. So we can just say text equals, let's enter 0 there, so that will take care of that minor error. Okay, now that that is done, for the form load, I would like the form load to add the details for this payment method. So let me double click on form load. Right underneath here, so I'm going to enter CMB payment method dot items dot add. So the first one, I want to enter nothing. There'll be nothing in there. So the second one, let's enter, that'll be for cash, MasterCard, Visa card. Okay, and maybe direct debit. So this will be cash, this maybe debit card, or let's go for MasterCard there. In here, let's go for Visa card, and right here we enter debit card there. So that takes care of the combo box. Now if I run it, let's see how that will look like. That's for the combo box. So I can always select that or select this, so that is fine. Okay, now what about reset? If I click on that, I can always reset and that repopulate it. Even when I click on that, that error you saw earlier is gone. Alright, that's good. Let's remove that. Okay, the next thing I would like to do now is to let's define some variables there. That's going to be constant price underscore bottle water as, let's go for decimal, and the price of the bottle water, let's go for about £1.9. Okay, I'll just speed up the whole process. Alright, those are my variables in place. Okay, all the constants, the price of each item that the fast food joint is selling, and here I have other variables for tax, subtotal, total, and here that's just an array. That's what I used in carrying out this calculation. So that is taken care of. Let's save that. Okay, the next thing now is let's have a look at the total itself. Double click on that very total. So let's see this array here. Yeah, this very array. Let me copy that and come right down into total and enter that. Then array 0. Let's say array 0 equals convert dot to decimal, and what we converting, let's go for txt fries. There we go. Dot text. So whatever we have in txt fries dot text. Now the next one, let's see what is the next one do we have in there. We have salad. Okay, so I'll just copy this. So that is going to be txt sa, that's it, dot text, and followed by hamburger. That's txt h hamburger. Now onion ring, that's txt onion, that is orange. I want the onion, onion ring there. Then the next next thing is chicken salad. I'm going to copy that, paste that in there, space more, then this one become chicken salad. TXT chicken salad. There. Okay, I'm going to speed that up since you guys get the idea. And this one, just before I speed it up, remember it's an array, so we have to assign the correct number. Alright, that's 5. We have 6 here, 7, 8. Okay, I'm going to speed that up, guys. Okay, I've finished assigning all of the values into or onto the arrays, so that's it inside total. Guess you guys can see it all. Yeah. Alright, now the next thing is, let's have a look at what's going to happen here. So the whole idea is, when I select this, let's run it and see. So when I select this, nothing will happen, but when I select cache, I would like cache to enable this so that I can enter whatever purchase is made, and the change will be displayed here. So let's give that a try. When we select this, we want this to enable this. Okay. Right, let's start with an if statement. Just copy that now. Now, if cmb payment method dot text equals cash, no, that will not work, cash, then txt payment method dot enable equals true, then txt payment method dot text equals clear that, and the payment method as well. Let's set focus dot focus there. Else the payment method, let's copy these two there, 0 and false there. So that's what's gonna happen. So if we select cache, enable becomes true, the content is cleared, and focus is set in there. Else enable becomes false and the content becomes 0. So let's give that a try and see. Right, if we select MasterCard, nothing happens. Visa card, nothing happens. Okay, but if we select cache there, then we can always enter whatever value we have in here, or whatever, sorry, the amount, then is deducted from the cost of everything, and the change will appear here. But if it's MasterCard, that's what happened. Then we can just go ahead with our calculation. Alright, that is fine. Now the next thing, okay, when we select this, I expect this to become that. So that's something else we need to take care of. Okay, then let's come in here. I'm going to copy this text content in here. When we click on reset, this becomes clear, and the text content in here, let's make it enable dot undo that. We need txt payment method dot enable equals false, and txt payment method at the same time dot text equals 0. So that's what's gonna happen. So if there's an error in there, I must have mistakenly copied txt payment method. Okay, let's take it back there. Right, yeah, I think that's fine now. Okay, so if I run it, let's run it and see what's going to happen. Right, reset. Okay, that's fine. Now let's take care of this total here. So I'm going to close that. I'll come in here, but the thing is, we're going to have to multiply the cost which is right here, the constant. Okay, like we have fries. I'm going to get that. I'm bringing it down here. So multiply that by this. Okay, that is then stored in here. So I'll repeat the same thing for the salad itself, which is this one. Okay, so I need all of that. I need to put them together before we can start serious work on this. So let me just speed that up, then I'll get back to you guys. Okay, check this out, guys. I've now added all of the constants, which are the price, to this. So the price is multiplied by whatever is inside each of these components. Okay, now that is taken care of, let's come in here and start with an if statement. If cmd this payment method dot text equals, if it's equals that, then let's take it up so that you can say it. Then I would like this. Supposing we have a variable here. Yeah, let's declare a variable, maybe somewhere here. Let's say dim cost as decimal, and we can say cost equals, let's go for this very first one first, just to try it out. Item 0, cost of item 0 there. Okay, so let's say minus, that should actually be payment method dot text, but in this case we want this taken away from this. So yeah, so which means whatever amount is entered inside the payment method is taken away from this, then whatever is left is then entered into LBL change. That will give us the change. Okay, so there will become cost. Alright, so we can just try that out and see what will happen. So I'm going to save it, run that, and see what's going to happen. Supposing a customer selects, maybe go for 5 of those, and cash, let's say cash handed to the sales assistant is about £67. So if we click on that, see, that give us that. Alright, so I can't remember the cost of the fries, but if we look at it, I presume that is right. Let's pull that down and just look at the cost of the fries. Yeah, I think that is right. That's about £5.50p. So that is correct. Okay, that's the change given back to the customer. Okay, now we need to know the subtotal. Let's come back down in here, double click on that. We want to find the subtotal. The subtotal will become this, will actually be this. So let's say LBL subtotal dot text equals this itself. Okay, now we need the tags as well. LBL tags right here dot text equals, let's say, the subtotal, which is let's say this very one here. We may have to change this. Then we're going to have to change that to get it all right. Okay, we have to change this, but this is just a trial for now. So let's say this multiply by, I think it's called I tax or tax rate. Let's see, what did I call it up there? It's called okay, it's called tax rate. That's the tax rate there. Let's make that maybe around 3. Yeah, that's the tax rate. Multiply by that, and we then divide it by 100. That should give us the tax that we are paying. Okay, but that's still not going to work. Supposing we add all of this into tax. Let's say I tax. Yeah. Now LBL tax dot text equals I tax. Equals I tax. Now to get the total, LBL total dot text equals I tax plus whatever we have in subtotal. Well, subtotal is this, which I really don't. I'm just using that as an example. So I'm going to have to declare another one here. Okay, that should be total. Now I think there's one already. That is the cost that give us that. Then this one, let's assign everything we have in here. Everything we have in here into something else. Let's say we do have subtotal anyway as a variable. I subtotal there equals that. So it's I subtotal that will do all of this. This become I subtotal, I subtotal, and I subtotal here. There. Because we're still going to add more to this. So let's run it and see. Run it. And if we select anything here, let's say we go for 4 fries, we want it to be cash, and how much are we paying? Maybe let's say we actually handed over £20. If we click on that, there, that is the tax, that's the subtotal. Okay, so if you look at this plus this give us this. I think that's about right. Alright, that's good. Now we're getting somewhere. Supposing the selection is more than one, and that is where all of this comes in. In that case, this becomes, we need to add more, so even this subtotal should be here. Alright, so we're gonna move this. Let's cut it off there, paste it right up here, and this itself will become subtotal. We're taking that off here, and the subtotal itself here, that will become plus so that is 0, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. Okay, that's about 21 of those, so this is 8, 9, 10. Let's speed that up. Let's run this thing. Let's give that a try. So we have coffee, maybe 6 of those, and vanilla, 9 of those. We click on, we need to select something. Suppose we select cash, and we have about 150 pounds there. Okay, that's fine. Suppose we have this, that shows up. In that case, we should clear everything. Okay, all of this. Let's come in here, double click on this, clear it all. Inside the total, come down here. Okay, else message box. Yeah. So if we run it, and let's say we have not selected anything, and we click on that, you must select a payment method right there. If we select payment method, okay, the next thing is, I think maybe we should move this. Let's copy this and put it right in here, and here as well. Right, that is the format. Okay, so the payment method box. If we run it now, let's run this payment method. You guys will see what I'm talking about. Supposing we select that and we enter whatever in there, click on total. There, you must select a payment method. If we click on OK, there, that wipes out all of that. We may not want to wipe that out and just select our payment method. That's one other thing. That's another option. So in that case, we might not need this really. Maybe I should just get rid of that. Select a payment method because that was a mistake. Alright, we come in here, enter that. Click, you must select a payment method. Then we'll now select a payment method or whatever we might want, and just click on that. Okay, now this, all right, here. Okay, we have to delete that in there. Come in here. Okay, this can always be default. We can default this to 0, but it doesn't have to be here. So let's go back in here. When a payment method is selected, that should become a 0. Okay, let's see, what do I have in there? Double click on this. If this is clear, this, and that becomes 0. Okay, so let's go inside total. Right here inside the total, double click on that. And this here, we can always assign 0 to this here, so that becomes 0. That's it. Okay, so let's run it again and see what's going to happen. Okay, we're not selecting anything here. Click on total, select a payment method, and click on total. Yeah, that's it, guys. That is working as we want. Well, let me show you guys the code again for the total. Right here I have all of the arrays. The array is used as a storage for the component multiplied by the input component multiplied by the cost of each meal or of each item. Is then stored inside my array, and here this is where all the calculation took place. Right here I've added each array together inside I subtotal. Then I subtotal is assigned here, which is then assigned here to find out if there's a change to be given or not. I subtotal is now assigned into the component subtotal, and tax, this is where we check out the tax. That's the tax goes inside the tax component, and I tax plus I subtotal make up total, and here we use that to convert everything to pounds. And the same thing was done here. The only difference here is the change given to the customer is not right in here, else this message box will pop up if you do not select any of those payment method. That's all there is to it. Okay guys, but there is a minor error here that need to be adjusted. You see this very change, we have to also add the tax before we can get the right change. So what I will do is I'm going to copy all of this. I just want to cut it off and paste it right in here. There. Then I will then add this so that I can get the right total. Paste that, and that will take care of the change. So guys, if we run it now, okay, with the change now in order, let's select, let's say fries will go for about, let's go for 45 of those, and we'll come in here. Cash, let's say we give them 60 pounds. If you click on that, there, you do the mathematics. That is the change given back to the customer. So you add this to the tax and add this to the subtotal. That should give you 60 pounds. So with that, we call it the end of this tutorial. I suppose you all enjoyed. So you guys have a nice day now. And bye for now.